Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since I've been away, and within the 5 days of me taking some time off of YouTube, everything has hit the fan and so much drama has happened. So I'm sure you guys are aware that Meghan and Harry signed a major Netflix deal to the sweet sum of at least £100 million. Also, the next update is that they have allegedly paid off Frogmore Cottage for 2.4 million. Now, a lot of people are dubious as to whether this is the truth because the likes of Miss Scooby have released this news. It seems to be jaded viewpoints who are speaking on this matter. It seems to be people who are definitely directly coming from their camp. Now, the reason why a lot of you guys are suspicious, and I've read some comments online, is simply because they could have paid off this debt a lot sooner, and secondly, they haven't even started to produce anything for Netflix. How could they be using the money for personal finance so soon and so fast? It just doesn't really make sense. Now, I understand that sometimes celebrities do get advanced payments on contracts, but we have to remember this is allegedly a 5-year deal with Netflix, and they have to hire people to help them produce these documentaries, produce these charitable events that they're going to be filming for content. They have to hire people who actually know about TV and movie production because Meghan and Harry have no experience. Meghan was in Suits for 100 episodes. Harry has done a lot of live interviews and a lot of public speaking engagements, but actually putting together TV shows is a completely different level of skill, and it's a highly skilled craft that they both do not know how to execute, so they will be learning on the job. The first thing that I really want to mention, and this is just my personal thoughts and opinions about it, is that if they have signed a 5-year deal to the sweet sum of, allegedly, some say it's 112 million, some newspapers are saying it's 150 million. They are not disclosing the exact amount to the public, but they do want us to know that it is over 100 million pounds. That's something they definitely want out there. But what I really want to say is that wouldn't Netflix be giving them a staggered payment plan of, let's say, 20 million a year or 22 million a year, however you divide up 150 to 112 million pounds? Wouldn't they be giving them 25 million, and wouldn't that be at the end of the year after they've actually completed that year's contract? Because let's face it, they haven't even started, so why would they just shell out money like that? I think that they have had some kind of payout from Netflix. I don't know how much, but I just don't believe that they've paid off for Frogmore Cottage. Now, I could be completely wrong, but I personally believe that Charles is still covering for them. And I think this information has come from Charles's camp because he wants his son to succeed in the USA. And I think that there's still a lot of guilt over what happened with their mum Diana and the way in which Harry never quite got over that, and he's still acting out of trauma which he shared in the African documentary. He's still a traumatized man over his mother's passing, and I think that Charles is pretty much sweeping up behind Harry and putting out Harry's trash. So I think Charles covered it with the Duchy. Let's face it, Charles yields at least £22 million a year just from the Duchy of Cornwall alone, and that's actual income and revenue. And then we still have their outstanding security costs. Now, it seems as though no one is really talking about who is paying for their security, because we know that their security bill is extremely expensive. And even though over $100 million sounds like a hell of a lot of money, it's really not in the world of Meghan and Harry. They've taken out this allegedly a mortgage for 7.4 million for this 11.2 million pound house in Santa Barbara, and then they have the security costs of at least 20 million pounds a year. So we know that Charles is covering that. I think they want to stay hush hush on that until they preferably score another major deal with another major streaming platform. That could be with Amazon Prime, it could be with Disney Plus. We don't know, but they are definitely hitting the ground running, as Meghan said when she was in the UK, trying to scrape the money together to get financially independent as soon as possible. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, why are you still making videos? Isn't it time for you to quit the channel? Isn't it time for you to take a break from bashing Meghan and Harry? No, it's not time for me to quit making videos about Meghan and Harry, because as a British taxpayer, but not just a British taxpayer, as a British citizen who is proud of her British heritage, I do still feel as though there is a lot of disrespect that is being emitted on the Queen, and that is being emitted on the UK in general. They still haven't apologised for the way they upped and left the UK. We still do not like Meghan and Harry because they haven't thanked us in any way, shape or form for the loan essentially that we extended to them. Also, the reason why this channel will still continue to make content is because we paid for a royal couple, we paid for senior members of the royal family, we paid for a service from 2 senior members of the royal family that we are now not receiving. And they still owe us for that fanciful, elaborate £44 million wedding as far as I'm concerned. If they can pay off for the renovations of Frogmore Cottage, they can also stop taking money from us for their security bill, and they can also pay back for that wedding. Another thing, which is the last thing that I'm going to address in this video, is that allegedly Harry and Meghan are going to be exploiting the death of Princess Diana and the life of Princess Diana, which is rumoured to have caused further tensions between the two brothers. I found this article here by the Daily Mail, and it is titled Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's $112 million Netflix deal could include a documentary on Princess Diana, but royal sources warn it could fuel tensions between him and William. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's £112 million Netflix deal could include a documentary on Princess Diana, but royal sources have warned it could fuel tensions between him and William. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex signed a deal with the streaming service this week for their new yet-to-be-named production company to make documentaries, feature films, scripted shows and children's programming. An insider said the documentary will focus on Diana's family history and heritage, but voiced fears over it widening the brothers' rift. It follows Harry being urged to get a separate Netflix musical not associated with himself or Meghan about his mother Paul. So allegedly there is a musical on Netflix. I haven't really researched into this regarding Diana, and there is a push for it to be pulled, and Harry and William are meant to be working hand in hand to get rid of this Netflix production. But it seems as though they are going to be creating another production that is going to exploit the memory of Princess Diana. And as you can see, Harry is literally willing to exploit every facet of his royal connections that he possibly can to satisfy Meghan and to line his pockets, which is quite low down and quite trashy if you ask me. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm going to carry on with the article here. A source told The Mirror it will work as a tribute to Diana and build on all the incredible charity work she has done. Netflix would also love to make a documentary about Diana, and it is something they have been pushing for. Referring to William and Harry, the insider added, these plans could further antagonise their fallout. If it does happen, William will be the first to know. Meanwhile, a former bodyguard of the late princess is calling on her son to get a controversial musical pulled from the streaming service. Netflix will screen Diana, a new musical, which features a fictitious scene where the Queen labels her a tart. Other controversial lines include the Queen saying to Diana, in the old days, we would have chopped off your head, while another scene sees Diana in bed with James Hewitt. Ken Worth, 72, Diana's former bodyguard, earlier told The Sun, the Diana musical, soon to be premiered on Netflix, presents a huge dilemma to them both. If the critics are to be believed, this musical story is not a joyous journey of love with a happy ending, but an episodic account of untruths, scandal, and sex. He now has the chance, irrespective of his lucrative deal with Netflix, to stand alone from his wife and make clear his abhorrence of such a musical and call Netflix to account. The musical began previews in March, but never officially made its debut on Broadway due to the coronavirus pandemic. In an unconventional step, the musical is set to skip Broadway and go straight to Netflix. The cast and crew are set to reunite in an empty theatre this month to perform the musical for cameras and put the finished product on the digital platform for broadcast next year before the show welcomes a live audience again. So Harry is meant to be contesting this. He's meant to be fighting to get this pulled down. It seems as though he doesn't really care about his mother's memory because he's going to cash in on it as well. And I guess that's what a loving, doting son does to honour the memory of his mum. I personally think this is very disrespectful. I do think that William is definitely done with Harry. I think Harry is going to be cut off permanently from the royal fold, and I will carry on with the reporting. There's so much that has happened and I am going to get through it bit by bit, and this is the end of the video. What do you think, guys? Do you think William has had enough? Do you think Harry's gone too far? I personally think he has gone too far, but we'll see how this ends, and I'll be back with another video. Bye, guys.